Hey everybody, welcome back to another reaction. Your boy Lance here for episode 2 of Petals of Reincarnation. A crazy, crazy first episode there that I think was paced a little too fast for my liking. But I'm still super curious about this world and everything. But yeah, let's dive in and see what we get for episode 2 here. I'm very curious if anybody of our like core group people that I eventually run into, if they ever find out that he wants to just take everyone's talents for himself, even his friends. Okay, these are more people. 0. Interesting. That's his brother. Okay. And I think we heard this last episode as well, but oh, what, the edgy motherfucker? Oh, I wonder who this is. I wonder who that could be. I've heard so much shit about that person. I might be crazy, but I think the person with the apple on their head is gonna be Newton, isn't it? I like the song a lot. It's a really good song. Add that one to the playlist. I'll make a playlist. I make a playlist every season of openings and EDs to listen to. Then it usually lasts me the 3 months until the next season, which is pretty nice.
ここだ。おい、起きろ。起きろ。ハイドロー
Ah,
ブフェット。
oh. Oh, this is where she sleeps? Interesting.
迎えご苦労。なんて低たらくだ。武蔵の才能が泣いているぞ。
Also, if you ever see me look down, because people have brought this up to me before, I'm not on my phone. I'm writing notes.
無駄なことを。努力などかすむ才があろうに。
千日の稽古をもって担とし、万日の稽古をもって練となす。なんつって。
Yeah. I mean, they do say that it takes 1,000 hours to doing something before you become an expert at it.
目標才能はゲイシー。
Gacy, like,
子供が喜ぶピエロの格好で
and a clown?
子供を殺す。
So, John Wayne Gracie?
キラークラウンの異名を持つ殺人鬼だ。
Yeah, I think it's John Wayne Gracie.
警戒しろ。目標の潜伏地点に踏み込む。
ようこそ我が殺人サーカスへ。
Oh my god, the hands.
あいつの予言通りなかなか気負った。
Just as he prophesies, is it the
あんけなやつら。
John Wayne Gacy? Yeah.
相手は近接戦闘型。いかに強くとも近寄らなければなブレブレも。私の狩り場でじわじわ果てるといい。さあ開演だ。
That laugh. Yeah, like, you're a fool if you think that a samurai couldn't get you from there.
ふうじゃない。なぜ一撃で仕留めた。
目標をゲイシーから新たに現れた2名に
The two new
追
tangos.
跡に当たる。すべては花弁を散らす者を暴くために。
Most of the truth behind the petal shatters. The government, possibly? Edward. Oh my god. They really are going with the serial killers.
でも
Apple? Is this Apple? Hungry for apples? Oh, it's gotta be Newton.
やられてたまるか。おほほ。逃げ切った逃げ切った。
Isaac Newton. Fruit of
何
gravity.
感心してるのよ。
Who are you?
いいじゃない。
Einstein?
私は基本非戦闘員なのよ。身勝手で無責任。これだから男って嫌い。
Yeah, Albert Einstein.
次はどこか
Wait.
男って嫌い。
Oh, okay. Spatial translocation, teleporting, basically.
次はどこから
There it is. More than that, that's a great ability.
おかえり。なんで頭を転移させなかったの？ダブルキ？
下世話な男と一緒にしないで。とどめは兵の仕事。
Yeah, and they're not soldiers.
投降するであります。
You're a sniper.
見たか
次は自分が披露する番でありますな。
Oh, the undead soldier. I know about that story.
逃げる場所なんてありませんよ。もうここ一帯は埋めちゃいましたからね。それでもやり合いたいならどうぞ。
Oh, replicator
数人は
trash.
倒せるかもしれませ
I'm
んね。
not super familiar with that legend or that person. They have a bad team, or badass team, I should
悪
say.
しき回り物を飼って回ってるっていう偉人の森
Yep.
予測通りの帰還時間だ。ご苦労だったな、お前たち。
いやー、むしろ相手がかわいそうだったな。ヘレバッカだどん。
Pizza has like a drum.
これが回収した枝よ。
Wait.
これが回収した
Oh,
枝
his
よ。
branch. Got it, got it, got it. They collect the branches. Got it, got it. A healer?
よろしくお願いします。
Nightingale. I was about to say, are you Nightingale? Yeah.
いつもかたじけない。
花坂さん、不死身だからって無理しないでくださいね。
What in the
戦車
ASMR?
するであります。ささやきもいいな。怪我してくればいい。話は聞いてるよ。友人が増えるのは大歓迎だ。よろしくお願いします。
Also,
これで
though,
も
like,
フルメンバーではないんだけどな。
actually for Wasser,
みん
but
な東野と同じだよ。
these are
自分を憂い
so
て才能をつかみ取ったんだ。
many talents for him to steal. So many talents for him to steal.
何かあれば頼ってくれ。ありがとうございます。
私は反対よ。
はい。
Einstein.
だってこいつの才能異人格じゃないでしょ。それどころか犯罪者、悪しき才能じゃない。
Not completely
そ
wrong.
んなやつ私は仲間だなんて思えない。
才能を引き出したとはいえ、前世の人そのものに。
まあ、武蔵がそう言うなら。あんがとう。
You can't say no to Musashi like that.
悔しくないの。私なら黙ってられない。やっとのことで手に入れた才能なのに。
Yeah, she was obviously doing it to distract.
似てるって思ってたのに。
Well, he wants to steal all your talents.
電気が。
誰？
ん？おお久しぶりだな。でっかくなったんじゃないか。
Okay.
こいつは土産だ。この部屋、漫画もエロ本の一つもねえもんな。
資源ゴミで出しときます。
悪態も目の下のクマも変わんねえ。
So obviously he's with the other team, like with the
な
other
んだ
group.
知り合いだったのか。
I mean, he's in the OP, so I
タイ
thought
トル
so.
オブフェットです。
北塚いつきだ。よろしく。
こんな人ですが、かつては兄と並び神童と呼ばれた武術の天才で、今では自衛隊の特殊部隊を束ねて
A
いるんです。
special forces unit in the GSDF,
そんな
huh?
褒めんなよ。まあ俺って生まれながらの勝ち。
いるんです。
Either he's a part of the other group, which could be a thing because from what we heard from last episode, they talked about Toya's brother, right? But now that if he leaves the special forces in the JSDF, he might be the government person or tied to the government that I'm assuming government. The soldiers that we saw in the forest trying to figure out who the petal shutters are, right? I mean, obviously the government's going to want to look into these kind of people and what's happening. Just makes sense to me. But now I'm starting to think he's probably more government than he is with the other organization. Which I think a third foil to everything is actually very interesting. Or a second foil to everything is very interesting.
そう異性頃からの仲だろ。
小さい頃？
ほら。背向けてんのが東野の兄でせい。
Yeah, so he knew. Yeah, I've obviously that was going to be a
で
thing.
このチビが
I already got the baby pictures out. Damn.
だから東野も弟同然。いい兄弟だったよ。 トウヤはいつも聖夜の背中を
He's
追
still
っていた
chasing after him.
聖夜は決して振り返らなかったけど絶対に置き去りにはしなかったしかしあのトウヤについに彼女が
I'm very curious if the
聖夜
brother
のやつ
actually
ど
is
んな
this
顔する
like
だろうな
great person
驚いたりしてる
that
か
we're led to believe he might be
同時ね
just as involved with bad
動
guys
じる
as,
暇
as
すら
everyone
ない
else
くらい
is.
あちこちから引っ張りだこだったし才能を持ったがゆえの宿命ってやつかなま
Yeah.
とにかく良かったぜ
Way to bring that
じ
up.
ゃ
Thanks,
俺
buddy.
はそろそろ
Thank
二
Itsuki.
人とも
Appreciate you,
幸せにな
asshole.
僕にはもう才能があります。
どうよ
Toya, my guy,
おい
just right in front of him.
なんだその体
The Way of the Returner. Good title card drop.
最近得た才能です。まあ、盗むというひねた僕らしい才能ですが。
はあ
The bass in his voice dropped so much
それあれか
when he got the arm.
最近噂になってる前世から才能を持ってくるっていうくだらねえなるほどなつまりは現世の自分じゃダメなんで来世ならぬ前世に期待ってことか
Ooh, what a bar, but he's
そんな
ooh.
もんに頼った時点で負け犬じゃねえか
取り消せ。私たちがどんな覚悟でこうなったかも知らないくせ
Very
に。
curious what her backstory
元から
actually
才能を
is.
持っている人間が上からものを言うな。
だから何言っても言い訳にしか聞こえねえんだよ
Girl, you're letting him play you.
弱者の
Yeah. JSDF, my girl.
東野の彼女じゃなきゃ手足へし折ってたぜ帰る
後悔はしていません。僕はこれで兄を超えてみせますから。
笑えね
I find it so fucking a little hypocritical with him talking about his brother when he just made a mention about the whole past thing. Yeah, he's obviously tied to them.
お疲れ様です隊長
Uh-huh,
作
obviously.
戦行動の是非は
え火だだが人物は一致目標はおいそれにサンプルならもういるだろ
Already got a sample to work with, huh?
反応できなかった。信じがたい速度の当て身、
Well,
組み伏せ、波の体さばきじゃなかった。
he's
これ
specialized.
だけの才能を生まれながらに。
Once again, though, I'm still like,
じ
eh.
ゃあ私たちは
You talk about the whole thing
似た者
about
同士だな
似た者同士。
you talk about the whole thing about like not
私も
rely on the past, but you're thinking about the
才能があったわけじゃない。
past all the time about his brother.
この才能を得るまではどこにでもいる普通の子だった。いや、それは語弊があるな。捨て子だったんだよね、私。
Ouch.
施設で育ったんだけど、そういうとこにいる子供ってみんなどこか影を抱えて
They
て
don't have the best, you know.
そんな中で
upbringings.
髪も目も違うもんだからさ。
Yeah, I'm
まとめ
curious
し
if
やすかっ
there's
たんだろうね。
a bigger thing with her eventually.
職員は見て見ぬふり。
Fuck that staff,
見
dude.
返してやりたかった。悔しくて才能が欲しかった。どうしても答えたかったから。
Yeah.
そんな時だ。この輪廻の枝の噂を耳にしたのは探し回ったよ。
I'm very curious where
まさに藁をもつかむって感じ。
where the branch of
才能
where
さ
the
え手に入れば
knives the branches
全
come
部
from.
解決すると思ってたんだ。でも
I don't remember. I don't have that in my notes.
武蔵の天才は父を簡単に凌駕してしまった。一命は取り留めたものの、二度と剣を持つことができない体になってしまって。
That's gonna leave with some
道場は
trauma.
閉鎖。私は親打ちで破門。恩を仇で返してしまったんだ。手ぶらでなんて戻るわけにはいかない。
完全の
Yeah, complete returner. What's that?
ありもの。
Getting all the former talent.
親友の弟か正直会いたくなかったぜ
らしくないね。市場だなんて。
それが人間ってもんだ
後悔はしていません。
たくあの野郎全部俺に押し付けてさっさとくたばりやがって
Toya grew up all wrong. my guy, you could have helped with that, but you obviously didn't. And Seiya is also responsible, and his family wasn't great either. So I don't want to hear shit from you, honestly. Like, to be honest, like, you can go bug yourself. I'm more on Toya's side. Fuck this whole world, dude. Um, yeah. And I'm starting to think Seiya isn't as good as we're told, at least right now.
それにしてもさ、これでここ数日に起きた出来事全部彼の言う通りになったね。
As he prophesied. So maybe that's still tied into the other group.
それも含めて胸くそ悪いんだよ。
なんだ、知らなか
So
ったん
it's,
だ。
you know, there's 3 factions, but there's still 2.
の森で完全な回り物はトウヤとハイト以外
That makes sense. That's why they have super good use of their powers.
その共通点が何だかわかるか？
格好が変。
True.
頭がリンゴだったり、
True.
やたら大きかったり、角が生えてたり。
違いない。
確かに人間離れしているな。であれば、なぜ格好が変だと気づいた？
Maybe they fully realized their
私た
abilities.
ちの輪廻返りが解けないのは
Yeah.
そういうことだ。
お前たちには輪廻返りにリミットがあり、一定時間を経過すると元の姿に戻ってしまう。
So they're
しかし
transformed all the
輪廻返りを繰
time.
り返すことにより、このリミットがなくなる。そういうものを完全な回り物として敬意を払い、前世の名で呼んでいるのだ。
ハイトはもう武蔵と呼ばれ出しているがな。
それに甘えず、早く完全な回り物にならなきゃ。
That's not to agree with the Itsuki there, but he's kind of right though at the same time. It is a little sad to rely on past lives. That is the past for a reason, right? You should be trying to change the world through your own merits and basically erasing your current self to become your past self. It's a little sad. I get it though from the aspect of the story, right? But it's still a little sad to think it like that. I mean, it's sad that Toya had to do is just feeling the way he did and how she felt the way she did. Like, I wonder if there's a downside. I mean, obviously you become you're stuck when the apple has a head, right? But you're also more powerful.
そしたらこんなの被らずに堂々。
Also, I feel like her whole thing is fine and all that, but it feels like she didn't mention anything about her father being the one to kick her out or to ostracize her. She hurt him, yes, and then the dojo closed, and then she was kicked out from everyone else pushing her out 'cause they didn't want her there. But we don't know what her father actually wanted. In my mind, somebody who's a proud sensei and father would be proud that his adopted daughter hurt him that much. Maybe not, but from everything we've seen of that person, he seemed to be like a good dude. So maybe we'll eventually get the story on that.
と父
Maybe.
に会いに行ける。
盗品行使。
おお、すごいじゃないか。
盗んだ才能を行使できる。
Oh, he's telling her the truth. Wow.
これをハイトさんに見せたかった。
そっか。でもよかったよ。この才能なら文句なしだな。
いいんですか？
お、
喜んでしまって。僕はきっと才能のためなら。
仲間でも襲う。そんなの当たり前じゃない？
You found a definitely
周
pea
り
in
に
a
は
pod.
欲しい才能が溢れてる。私が当夜の立場でもそうする。とにかく取りまくっちゃえ。ってわけで頑張れ。
でも
I'm rooting for you to steal my
盗まれ
ability.
る方が悪いって。
Ooh.
なんだよ、すっきりしないな。別に私に止めてほしくて見せてくれたんじゃないでしょ。嬉しいよ、トウヤ。
Yeah, if there's ever gonna be like
けどさ、
a ship of the show, that certainly
いら
feels
ない。
like it could
なん
be.
で私の才能を真っ先に奪いに来なかったの？本当に欲しかったら間柄なんて関係ないじゃん。分かってる。
Ooh, I like that shot.
怪しいんだ。まだまだ未熟な私の才能じゃ。だから約束して。私はこの剣の才能を成熟させる。トウヤが思わず奪いたくなるような自分になってみせる。
Respect it.
わかりました。僕も見劣りしないような才能を集めます。
Oh,
いつか
yeah.
見せ合い。
Like if this wasn't if
約束だ。
if there was going to be a ship for this show, that just feels like the ship. There's we saw that in the OP. And yeah, I figured that'd be the end. And then at the end, doesn't look like it. Yeah, so a lot once again happened in this episode. I do think it did a better job. It is still paced a little fast in my opinion, but I think it did a better job of trying to tell a cohesive episode, right? We met complete returners who are basically taking on their old name and have their crazy abilities from who's the redhead girl here? Like Eris or Mushoku Tensei? But yeah, so we have people like Einstein, Newton, Undead Soldier Dude, um, which I'm not. I know of his story. Um, yeah, Nightingale's an easy one to remember. Um, and then the dude who can copy himself, I forget his name off the top of my head, but I didn't write him down. But yeah, so we get to see how OP these people can be. I mean, Einstein's spatial stuff is fucking crazy awesome, right? We still don't even know like Neumann's whole thing either. Real whole thing. Because I think she definitely has a better idea of what old boy's up to. Okay, so we do have something at the end.
予言通り感動の再会とはいかなかったようじゃな。うっ
Prophesized.
せえ。囚われの身のくせして。
Are you Nostradamus? Prophesized. That looks like it's a like prophet. I can't read French there. I used to take French. Prophet. Hmm.
よくそこまで偉そうにしてられんな。
He's a plague doctor.
あ
Called the SCP Foundation.
回線
Interesting. Yeah, so that man might be Nostradamus. But he was captured. Um, we also get some more good stuff with Toya's stuff with Itsuki being part of the JSDF and basically trying to figure out the petal people, right? And basically he knew Seiya. Once again, Seiya is starting to give me some sus vibes, right? He's being hampered up so much as a good guy, but was he really a good guy? I don't know. I'm still sus of that. But Isuki's mad that Toya became a reincarnator and steals talents and all that shit. He's like, oh, he was raised the wrong way. You didn't help, bro. Fuck off. And I think yeah, I give the show credit for that at least. It's like literally Itsuki talking down to Toya like that. I'm like, fuck you. You weren't here for me either, bitch. Like, get the fuck out of here. You have no right to fucking lecture me and talk down to me when your ass wasn't helping me either, motherfucker. You can go fuck off the rest of them. That's what I would say. Um, and I love Toya's response. Oh, your brother be rolling in your grave. Probably. But I'll surpass his ass. I love that. Good line. Good line. Um, Haito's backstory, very interesting, right? It's not super crazy out of the place, but once again, I'm very curious what her actual adopted father thinks of of when she hurt him. He didn't die, just hurt him enough where he couldn't hold the sword anymore, which sucks. And the dojo closed. But does he actually blame her for that? I don't think so. And I love this little like peaky swear promise between Toya and Haito there now. Basically, oh, I'll be good enough. I'll be someone strong enough for you to want to steal from, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'll gather talents enough to take from you." Like I said, I don't know if this show's gonna have like a romance aspect at all or a ship thing. That they feel like they would be the ship at this point. Those two, it just makes sense because they're the two newest that we met returners, and they're not complete either, as opposed to like Einstein and Newton and all that shit. Um, I am very curious. Adding the additional foil of like we have this group that knows of like with the eyes that know Seiya and all that shit. Then we have our group, the good guys, so to speak, and then we have the government now involved. So that's an interesting three-person foil there, and I like that. I don't know if we'll get any more. Obviously, it says Declaration of War next episode, so maybe we'll finally get who the actual bad guys are, and we'll get this lolly person that I keep hearing about from the show. But I don't know, second episode I think was better, honestly. I like the art style for the most part. Um, once again, the action isn't going to be the craziest, I don't think. I the music in the show is actually really good. I really like the music. I am curious enough to continue this. Definitely to episode 3. Whether or not it's going to be on cam after that, you guys got to let me know. Once again, beginning of the season, it's always going to be 3 episodes to see if you guys like me reacting to this. And if you do, and if I like the show enough, I'll continue to do it on cam. If not, I'll just stop doing it on cam and continue on my own and et cetera, et cetera. But let me know your thoughts down below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good jazz. And I'll talk to you soon for another reaction. Or if I'm reincarnated. Wonder what powers I'd get.